All right, Jamal Finkley, BLACKTREE TV. Hi, Patina. Hi, Makai. How you guys doing?
What up, Jamal? I'm good, man. How you feeling?
Pretty good, pretty good. First question I gotta ask: where is the intersection between you, Makai, and Kane? Like, what do y'all really have similarities from you in real life to your character on screen? Like, where?
I think one of the biggest similarities between myself and Kanan, it's probably one of the biggest things I gravitated towards with your signing on was like his love and his adoration for his family. You know, his willingness to try to do whatever he can, whether it be good or bad. His mission in his mind has always been, his family, his legacy. So that was probably one of the things I gravitated towards and what made the most sense when I started auditioning, especially after talking to Sasha and Courtney as well. Is just, hearing them want to tell this story of a mother and son and what they're willing to do to protect each other.
Same for you, Patina. Where does Rock and Patina meet in the South Carolina or New York streets? Where?
Well, I think it's ambition. I think it's ambition. I think it's being a mother. I think it's being the matriarch of a family and wanting so desperately to protect your own and provide for your family, build a legacy. So these are all things that I have in my own life, right? Like, you know what I mean? That ambition I can really identify with, just wanting so desperately wanting having a dream because Rock is a dreamer. So I identify with her way more than I don't I identify with her. But mostly, she has a lot of great qualities. There's some not so good qualities, but she's beautifully flawed, and I love that.
Yeah.
To me, Kanan.
Well, I'm gonna stick.
You can say anything to me. Always.
I don't want to disappoint you.
Well, I mean, if you're honest, you never disappoint me. Tell me what you're thinking. Let me in.
I thought I was cut out for it. For what you and Uncle Marvin and Uncle Lou do. I mean, I'm your son. I'm Def Con's son. Y'all both did it, so I thought I would too. But maybe not. Maybe I was supposed to do something else. To be someone else.
Well, I'm gonna stick on the beautiful because I feel like you like now a street sex symbol. Also, like people, I don't know if people was. I mean, you've always been beautiful, but I don't think when you was on Madam Secretary, I don't know if the block was checking for you like that. But
I
now
think
I know.
I think I think maybe it's I think it's just Rock's demeanor. I think it's Rock's ability to just sort of like being unapologetically herself and walking in just all of her power. And I think that is sort of Rock knows that about herself, especially in the world that she deals in. You know what I mean? She walks as werewolf. She knows what she has. She knows like what it means, but I think she walks in her truth, and that is sexy. I think that is being able to say "fuck you" and mean it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Makai, I know. I know Power Book, the Power Universe is been successful. I mean, you're kind of like the Street Avengers, per se. But I mean, with Sasha and 50 and Courtney created, even so, y'all had a season one, and when you found out that there would be a season two, and officially this story was going to continue on, you're going to be able to tell more about this character and have more story. Like, how did you feel with that validation that now we got a season two? We about to come back out for we coming back to back.
It felt good, man. It was exciting to be able to be able to jump back in. It was exciting that so many people were invested in the story in this way that they were ready to find out some more about what's happening with us. And yeah, it was just overall exciting. I was ready to again as an artist jump back in and push myself even more and find out and discover more about myself and get to work with incredible people like Patina Miller again and just continue to tell this story in this way and continue to touch people's hearts and and allow them to, jump in the mind of just a person in general. You put the drug game aside and you put all the violence and all that aside. These are just people dealing with emotions. These are families, dealing with each other and trying to keep that all together. So to be able to continue that story, to be able to, just again be able to touch people and touch souls in that ways, that was probably like the most exciting part about being able to jump back in.
I gotta say, like this season, you put a new tool in your toolbox. I mean, you already had this 50 similarity thing, but I feel like you was doing this little mouth thing where you talk with one side of your mouth. Like it felt like 50. Let's see, they're like, oh, he got
No
the little
man, that's
mouth
just
thing.
that's just us getting more comfortable with these characters and in this world. It allows us to even pull on those little tiny things that add that extra oomph to what's happening. It's dope, man. I've enjoyed getting to watch the progression as it happens myself. I mean, I've even shocked myself sometimes. I'm like, wow, oh, I did do that. But again, that also just proves how locked in and in that moment we are, that those sort of things happen. And because some of those little inflections and things like that, I don't necessarily practice in a way, but being around everybody when they're in these accents and everybody's in the clothes and we're in this environment, in this space, it kind of just gives you that extra, settle into it. So yeah, man, it's dope to hear you say that. I appreciate the nod at that.
It's specific work. He's specific. Everybody's just so the specificity and the choices that people make. Nothing about any of our characters, whether it's the jaw clench for myself or all of it is like for a purpose. And so what I love about this is that Makai is just doing his own thing. He's not being 50. You know what I mean? He's really like doing this character and bringing this really like, and if you're a fan, then you get to really like see all the nuance and like the tension and why he does it. And I think that's the most exciting thing. And maybe I'm getting nerdy as an actor, but that's the thing that makes people like, you know what I mean? Like lean in and watch
It's
all
the little things. It's always the little things.
Thank you guys for the time, man. Can't wait till everybody else to see it. I guess the question that everybody's definitely wants to know is like, and I know this because you was on Broadway, you was nominated, you was 19-year-old for a Tony, but can Haley really sing like Jukebox? Or even better than Jukebox? Is Haley Jukebox?
I think I would be willing to go up against Jukebox in a singing competition any day. She would intimidate the hell out of me, but I think I'd be able to do it.
I mean, when you like, what part of you and Jukebox have the same similarities? You the person Haley with the character that you're playing. Like, where's the common denominators between you two?
We are so serious. We're both so serious about our craft. Jukebox doesn't play with her music. I'm currently working on music right now. I don't play with my music. And we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we make it and that we make our families proud. So I would definitely say that that's the big similarity.
You were doing team pageants and competitions, and you had to do the August Wilson monologue. Which play did you pick? And which monologue did you? I don't want you to give me the monologue, but which August Wilson play did you take the monologue from?
Yeah, so I did. You did your research. So I got to do it twice. My first play I did was Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I did Ma Rainey's Act 2, Scene 1 monologue. I've been doing this for years. And then my last year that I came to nationals and performed on Broadway, I did Fences, which was also Act 2, Scene 2. And that was I've been standing with you. How was it?
It was cool. Good to be gone. Clear my head, see what else is out there. Realize sometimes it feel like, shit, that this is all there is. I'm not sure that's enough. I don't know, I'm not sure if this shit's for me, man. You know what I mean?
What?
Yo, Aunt Deb, man, Pat, Eric, everybody, they always asking about you, wondering why you didn't come down. I told him it's because you had some shit up here you was trying to figure out, so you good.
It just didn't feel right going down at the beach after all that. Truth is, it's not like staying here made nothing better neither.
I missed the hell out you, kid.
Of course you did. You didn't have nobody to listen to your whiny ass bullshit.
Nigga, I just got back. I don't miss you. I didn't miss you then. Whatever. Fine. Cool.
I'm just here.
No.
No,
Yeah.
I know in season 2 we get to see like Jukebox's broken relationship with her mom and other things that's going on. And I know that, I mean, I don't know it's your business, but that you were adopted as a child by parents. Is there anything that you feel in the way that Jukebox is feeling about whatever happened that the audience doesn't know about her and her mom yet, that you can relate to with just growing up in the situation that you were raised in?
Yeah, I think there's just that it's the general feeling of a longing of wanting to know where you come from. I think Jukebox knows where she comes from and she has her family, but she doesn't know very much because she doesn't really have a good relationship with Marvin and she doesn't know her mom. So I definitely really relate to that, just wanting to know my story and where I come from.
It's a lot, Juke. Being somebody's mother. I mean, you bring a baby into this world and it's all on you. Fathers matter. I mean, I'm not saying they don't, but mothers, we create life. And that shit is a lot of responsibility. And it ain't for everybody. Not everybody up for the job. So, that's why my mom left me. She wasn't feeling cut out for the job. I mean, look, I ain't ever talked to her about it. But yeah, I mean, I think she knew that she wasn't cut out to be a mother. Figured it was best if she got out the mix. I almost understand that. Maybe even respect it a little bit. I can't. Shit. I can't either. She missed out. Because you're incredible. And I love you.
Yeah. How is the outfits? Because I mean, you wearing like these, I don't know what brand, these Tommy Hilfiger shirts and jackets. It just doesn't seem like, I'm looking at you today, it doesn't seem like you would walk out in a Jukebox outfit on the block. Is that correct?
Probably not. Probably not. No, our fashion sense is polar opposites. And I kind of love it. Like, I love rocking the polo gear and the Timbs. They always try to put me in different shoes and I always want to wear the Timbs. Always. So yeah, definitely polar opposites, but that's what makes it really fun.
And I know the Power universe had already been, successful and has a track record of coming back for season 2s. But Raising Kanan being a new chapter in that universe, how excited were you when you found out that there would be a season 2 and that this story is continuing?
Oh man, I was so excited. Season 1, we left it off in such an incredible place. Like, if you want to talk about a show that leaves off with fireworks, literally, that last scene with Patina standing on the rooftop is my favorite thing ever. So the fact that we got to do a season 2 was a big blessing, and I'm really excited to watch it for sure.
Well, I'm really excited for everybody to get to know Haley Kilgore more and to see season 2. So keep on doing your thing, and I can't wait to see one of those monologues one day on the stage. And people start doing your monologues for competitions. That'll be what it is.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bad enough you left. Even worse, Never look back. Then you just show up after all the real work's been done and think you can collect a damn check.
I ain't looking for no check. I just want a relationship with my daughter.
She stopped being your daughter. Today you up and bounce to become some bootlegger Nita Baker.
She never stopped being my daughter. And I never stopped being her mother.
Nobody needs you back here, can you?
I should have been here, and I wasn't. I'm sorry, Marvin.
You left. Stay gone.
How you doing, London?
Man, everything is everything. How you doing, my brother?
I'm out here on the road, man, but couldn't catch up with you in New York. But I'm glad I got to catch up. Well, we did catch up at the event.
Yeah.
But look, been a fan of yours since Ballers. You was on there with my boy JD, and I really liked your character there, and love what you're doing with this character Marvin. With such multi-talents, I mean, you're a dancer, you do stand up. Like, how does this show like tap into all your talents that you've been crafting over the years?
You know what? What's really dope about this show is that I got to give it up to the creator of the show, Sasha Penn, and the fact that he even listens. You know, because sometimes you get on the show and they have these characters, the writers have these characters locked in, but they've always been really cool with my suggestions, my improv, and just where I wanted to go. So that really helps, man, because I'm like, I know that these opportunities don't come back to back, you know, especially coming from HBO and then going over to the next series. So it's important that I got to ring out everything. So out of these opportunities, so because I don't know who's gonna see what and which one of my scenes gonna land on the screen of a producer or director or the next writer. So I don't waste time, man. I take this stuff very seriously and try to always, you know, give 100 to each stuff, to every scene, man.
I gotta ask you and Haley Kilgore's character Jukebox relationship is definitely strained, and I wonder, we've all seen kind of where Jukebox story goes in the other parts of the Power universe. Are we gonna see some of that character come out in this season through the writing?
You know, let me make sure I got you. You say, are we gonna see Marvin come out as far as?
I was talking about with your relationship with Jukebox. We kind of know where her character goes as it appears in another Power book later. And I wondered, like, if through like the friction of your relationship, we gonna see some of those elements come out in her character this season.
I think that you will, in the sense that just people would have to connect the dots, though. Like, people don't just end up where they end up. Like, there are events and experiences that people go through that lead them to where they ultimately become. So if people connect the dots emotionally and through the experiences of the character and what they have to go through, then they're going to see some of those elements tie into you raising Kanan into the other series and so forth. So there are dots to be connected emotionally for that.
Your character's dealing with some anger management issues in season 1 and season 2, but you're seeking help involuntarily this season. How do you deal with anger management yourself? Like, how do you deal with, like, keep it cool when people get under your skin or whatever? Like, what's your techniques?
One of the things I try to do that I'm always pushing my friends to do, I like to slow down and process. That's as far as the methodical approach to this. But the main thing is, I don't like looking out of sorts emotionally. I don't like, even if I am flustered, I'm not gonna give you the power of even seeing that. I'm way too chill for that. Look, Karma looks cooler because cool looks in control. And I think a lot of people don't know that. So they think going loud and being, very vociferous about whatever it is they're trying to prove. I'm just like, man, just relax and just chill. You look way more posh and more together, just making your point. You can always tell, again, the guy who's with his woman, and you can tell the woman who don't respect it, he up there yelling at her all in the car. It should be like, yo, hold on, sweetheart, chill, we're gonna talk about this later. That's that. We ain't gotta be yelling and screaming. Nah, cool is way better, man, way better.
Hi, Marvin. I'm Renee, the therapist who runs this class.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Miss Renee.
Where are you going, Marvin?
You are signed in. I'm straight.
You signed in, and now you go sit with the rest of the group for our first class.
Probably just a little misunderstanding. My lawyer told me as long as I sign in, then I'm good.
Good as in you can leave?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, your lawyer told you wrong, friend. Either you sit down in one of these chairs, or I can let the court know that you violated the terms of your probation, and they'll find another place for you to sit. And I can promise you that the spot the judge is going to find for you to sit won't be as comfortable as one of these chairs here.
And last question, like the STARZ universe is like kind of like an MCU in itself with all the P-Valley and Star and Powers and everything else. How do you interact with the fans that are like kind of so rabid into these shows and like always interact every time episode come out? Do you get on social media, interact with them at all?
I'm very interactive with my followers in social media. I retweet. I'm always going live. I answer lots of questions. I repost pictures. I run into people on the street and so forth. Because I know what it feels like to want to be seen and heard. You know, shout out to my guy Robert Glasper. And when I first met him, he made me feel heard, and I know what that feels like. He's only one person, but a lot of times, you know, when people run into celebrities and they're acting funny, Hollywood didn't do that. They was that usually before they got there. So I'm just very appreciative of people, and I try to give them that energy because I know what that feels like, you know. So I try to stay grounded in that way.
Well, man, you a multi-talented talent, man. I just checked out one of your stand-ups online, and I know you do the dance. And like I said, I've been watching your shows. Can't wait to see whichever screen, whichever role you play, man. You give authenticity to it. So keep doing your thing. We'll keep on cheering you on. So I gotta ask you first, like, how I feel to wear the Lecoq Sportif playing these suits? Like, how does it feel to get in wardrobe for raising Kanan and be a part of like that whole STARZ group? Like the whole Power book has a great wardrobe department, but you rocking some nice suits.
It's a blessing, brother. It's a blessing. We are dripped down, draped out. We got it. We have one of the best costume designers of all time on our show. So, you know, we've been blessed. We've been blessed. I love it, bro. It helps you. It helps the character. It services the character. It looks great on camera. It does terrible for my personal life because women expect me to come out looking like that. And as you can see, I don't. So there's that.
Now, I know you did Southpaw with 50 Cent, but I mean, I know you was a filmmaker since you was a teenager. Like, where did the connection to 50 and all this start? Did it start for Southpaw? Did he check out your short? Like, how did that?
Oh no, 50 is completely unaware of everything going around him, while also being completely aware of it. It's such a weird thing. So like, he didn't know about my like creative side with the filmmaking and stuff, but he was always aware of like my film acting career. And so and then people tell him things and he remembers it and then he calls back. It's really an interesting capability he got. But the funny thing about Fifth is that he's entrepreneurial as well and enterprising. So when he did become aware of my like independent filmmaking background, he was even that much more, you know, receptive to me. And we ended up trying to work and do things together because he actually, people don't understand that he went and started this whole thing on his own, essentially. Not to discount STARZ with the TV show, but filmmaking as a process, filmmaking as a love, filmmaking as a thing. He went and sucked for like 5 years, I think, doing those movies and like self-produced them or co-fund them with them in Furla just so he could be on set. He was like, oh, y'all not gonna put me in movies? Y'all not gonna give me the opportunity? Well, then I'm gonna go do it myself. And that's essentially what I did. And that's why I think there's a mutual respect there with filmmaking.
I gotta ask you a little about the content of that that first film because right now I don't know if you're aware of what's going on between the bloggers, but there's like this American Cholo and Tariq Nasheed and they're beefing on this black and brown. I know that's what your first film dealt with. Why do you think, especially in LA, that there's like this tension between black and brown that seems to like play itself out in the streets and the blogs?
The same reason the Jews had issues with people who were here before them. It's the same reason that the Irish had issues when they first got here. The issues are limited resource, right? And whoever is the last to get here. So whoever be the last to get here usually fight over the leftovers from the people who've been here. And it doesn't matter what ethnicity it is. Honestly, it just so happens to be us. And it's really sad to see. Now, what I will say is I've also received a lot of love from my Latino brethren. So it's a mix. But being in street culture, it is a microcosm of American culture. There's no difference. It's only difference what we just decide to make money on, and the stakes are higher because, money. So what ends up happening is you have these very hyperbolic situations and these tense, violent situations that come as a result of very human disagreements. So that's how that I think is playing out. And even online with the bloggers and stuff, like the same thing. It's just emotional, just emotion. People not respecting each other's opinions. But really, we need to understand that united, we're better. We're just stronger.
No more. I know who Warrell is. I know what he did. And I know what we did. And I know you, Neek, too. And I'm trying to make sure that when Neek come home, and I hear it's gonna be soon, he ain't got shit to come home to. No people, no product, no possibilities. And having Neek's right hand down with us, I mean, that shit could be useful. Marvin got Baisley, you got the 40s. And assuming Warrell gets down, he gonna have to answer to you over there.
Marvin's doing good work at Baisley. Give him the 40s too.
So you turning down work now? Why everything but you gotta be a struggle, dude? Why do I always have to be angry? I'm giving you a spot to fuck with, real money in your pocket, and you still complaining.
I ain't complaining.
Is he complaining, Marvin?
Bitching more like it.
You're running the 40s, Lou, and that's how it's gonna go.
And I know, like, you grew up in South Central.
Yeah.
You got famous Uncle Tukey Williams, and is that part of the way that you relate to Lulu? Is there any part of Lulu that's you? That's Malcolm? Any bit of Lulu? Or is
no, I feel like Lulu a buster, bro. Honestly, like he kind of a buster. Like it's like he be get marked out. Like I mean, he a killer, but I know killers who ain't got no heart. So, and I'm not saying that Lulu doesn't got heart, but he's too sensitive. Like, bro, it's too like he's too easily amenable. Like I don't like that. Like, bro, if you doing this, you doing it, and if you not, you not. And I support both choices, but just pick one. Lulu to me often is, although he's very saucy and very regimented, we caught him in a place where he's not very decisive, and that's the part where me and him we not aligned on that. So yeah, streets like you gotta get you killed. So
well, I hope I get to see you New Jack City 2.
Oh yeah,
see you another season of this. I hope we get to see you direct it some more as well as acting, man. So keep doing your thing. We'll keep on cheering you on, and thank you for the time.
Thank you, brother. I hope to see me doing that stuff too.
Omar, Decatur's finest. What's happening, brother?
How you doing, brother?
My Rainbow Drive, brother. How you doing, man?
Man, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Let's start there. Let's go back to early deck. I mean, you went to Avondale Performing Arts School. I mean, you didn't go to Southwestern Cab, greatest school in land, but you family.
Y'all have the greatest reunion, I'll tell you that. I think you took me to one of them one year, didn't you?
Yeah. But with what was the prompt that got you to say, like, yo, I really think I could do something in this acting business and start going down that road?
You know what? When I was in high school, I saw Rico Lee and I saw Dorian Missick, getting roles when I was when we were in high school. I saw Kelsey Scott. They were getting roles, and we were all in the same plays. And I was like, if they can do it, I think I can do it too. And just from there, that gave me the confidence because I saw my friends doing it. Yeah.
I mean, like the landscape has changed since the Joanna Mans and Drumline. Like now, I mean, there's so much content going out on streaming platforms that's films and new TV, and now TV series are like more like long movies now than they were more like episodic TV before. How have you been like adjusting to like the shift in the business, and like, yeah, how's that been for you?
You know what? I tell you what, Jamal, I feel like that's the blessing, right? Being able to jump into a series, a limited series, something like 8 to 10 episodes, and telling a full story that doesn't have to just, doesn't have to be season after season after season. You can go in. I'm a theater actor. You know what I'm saying? I want to go in. I want to do my 3 or 4 months on stage and then go to the next show. So that's what I came from, and so when I look at how the streaming platforms are doing it now, even how the premiums are doing it, and even the basic cables, a lot of them, they're doing these, one-offs, just a limited series, even the American Horror Stories. It's not all the same character. It might be the same actors, but they're playing different characters every season. Yeah. And man, I think that's like, man, that's heaven to me. That's heaven. You don't have to sit in one thing and be the one thing. You can actually be the consummate actor.
As you worked over these years, like what I mean, I know like the game slows down for basketball players and everything else. Like, how have you felt like your skills have like just increased over your craft has increased over time? Is it easier to remember lines? Do you feel like you give more, you're able to give more expression, or like is there anything that you could like pick out from yourself as and the talent like over the years I've been able to like be better at this?
The thing about it, Jamal, is that I just continue to grow as a person. So any situation that a character could be put in, I've probably been in that situation. Now I know how to heighten it a little bit to make it entertaining to the audience. But that's what it is. It's like the more I continue to learn and continue to grow. Learning lines ain't as easy as it was when I was in my 20s, though. I tell you that. I need that ginkgo biloba every day. They be giving me these monologues, man, especially Ava. Ava State giving the brother a monologue. I'm like, oh my God. But like, and Sasha does too. Sasha Penn, our Raising Kanan, man, he was giving me things that I would never say. So I was like, man, I actually had to stay up at night and learn these lines and study. Like a lot of times I could read it one time when I was younger. I could read it one time and had a photographic memory. But not now, man. I have to really like dive into it, which is also good because you get to get more out of it. You're like, oh, you know what? I didn't even realize that might have been a double entendre right there. That could have been something that, that was said, but it meant something else. You did. So yeah, that's what it is. Like I said, just continuing to grow, continuing to, just live life and all these different situations that I'm put in, that I can really, I can really understand it. And I can like, oh, I've been there before. I've seen that before.
The dexterity, their story unto themselves. A true artist isn't concerned with the marketplace now. They're consumed by their own vision and inspiration.
But if nobody buying what you're selling, you just a sucker holding a brush. And by the way, you ain't fooling nobody with that fancy fucking talk of yours. I know who you are, and I know where you're from. Fort Green up in this motherfucker.
I speak differently in different situations, Rock. In the gallery, I'm Cartier. On the streets, I'm still Cartier. I just roll a lot harder. I'm surprised that you'd even join me this evening. I thought you were completely disinterested in me when I met you at Lou's recording studio.
I had a lot going on that day. But I'm here now.
Indeed.
Trying to figure out how it is you do what you do. How you done what you did. Living downtown, copping paintings, and talking like you spend summers at the inkwell.
The only limitations that we have are the ones we place on ourselves.
You're different. You into different shit.
So Raising Kanan, we get blessed with you this season. And one of my new favorite actors is Patina Miller, and you get a lot of lines like right across from her. How is it working in this like sophisticated, suave I don't know what's coming up for your characters.
Yeah.
They haven't revealed everything, but I feel like you like really like some underground kingpin that nobody know what's going on. But how does it feel to play right across from Patina and like throw those lines back and forth with her?
Man, I love Patina, man. We were supposed to do a show. We were supposed to do a play together about 4 or 5 years ago. Me, her, and Jonathan Majors on Broadway. Just didn't go through. We had table read, had a couple rehearsals, and it just fell apart. But since that day, I knew she was going to be a force. I knew Jonathan was too, because I was like, oh my God, like what have I been doing? I've been doing television. They've been doing theater. They've been doing Broadway. I need to get, I need to brush up on my stuff, man. I remember the first rehearsal. And I was like, I told Ruben Santiago Hudson, I was like, man, I ain't gonna let these young folk run me over. But no, man, I knew Patina was that. And that was honestly, Jamal, the reason that I really wanted to do the show. A good friend of ours, Mike Flynn, who's one of the writers on the show and actually has his own show now. I think it's called East New York. He was one of the producers of Raising Kanan, and he called me and was like, yo, your name has been bandied about for this new character. And I was like, well, does he work with Patina? He said he works directly with Patina. I was like, yo, I want to do it. So that was the impetus of me even wanting to be on the show, period, point blank. And then I got the pleasure to work with Malcolm May, and that young fella is a force,
Yeah. Well, look, man, can't wait to see what else happens with this character. I know you got Viper and Water Boys and so much TV stuff coming up. You always stay working, brother. I always like I could just look left and right. I would see you something. You know what I'm saying? But
don't forget that Halloween coming out and last season of Queen Sugar too, man. So we got all of that.
Yeah,
we getting it in, baby. You know how Decatur do. East Side, baby. You better know that.
East Side. There we go. Yes, all right, Omar, man. Talk to you soon, brother.
Talk to me for real, Jamal. All right.
All right,
brother.
What's up, Omar? What's up, Shanley? How you doing? I gotta ask, like, for both of you. But first, I would start with Bert. Like, where's the crossroads between Shanley and Bert? Like, what part of you guys are similar?
At the beginning, I would say none of them. There's no crossroads, but I think first season, I'm from Florida and playing a cop from Long Island in New York City in the 1990s. There was a crossroad in me just being like, I don't know what I'm doing. But then in the second season, I think you see a little bit of my own inner stubbornness come out, for better or for worse. So I guess there's stubbornness and the determination to do what they think is right. Moral compass. I think that's where they collide.
Yeah, how about you, Omar? You and Howard. Yeah.
Me and Howard, I think the crossroads honestly is one thing, is that he's a chess player, and I'm pretty damn good at chess myself. If anyone want to challenge me, I'm just letting you know. But Howard is a chess player, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, so I think that's where we cross.
Go get something to eat. You want to join me?
I appreciate the offer. I gotta clean up all this shit. So I'm trying to figure out my new life.
New life? That sounds ambitious.
I thought I was dead, Bert. No joke. For a minute there in that hospital, I felt myself leave my body. Turns out I wasn't dead at all, though. I was being reborn, given a second shot at all this shit. I'm gonna do it right this time. I'm gonna be the best version of me that I can be.
And I know, like, the Power Book universe has been successful and it has a great track record. But I mean, you are very much part of the reason that season 1 leads with this big cliffhanger. How excited were you to hear that y'all was getting the second season and what your character can explore and your story could explore in the second season?
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's a testament to Sasha Penn, our showrunner, Courtney Kemp, and 50, and obviously STARZ and Lionsgate, like, getting behind the show and just, I think it's in the Power universe, but it's its own show. It's like this separate thing, and it's really exciting. We've got a great cast, we've got a great crew, the story, we've got great characters. And I just like the idea of what attracted me to it was we know how Kanan ended up. Like he was this heinous, evil individual. But now we're exploring this 14, 15-year-old awkward kid who was a teenager, because we were all awkward at that age. And he's so innocent, but his mother was a drug kingpin. So that's odd. So it's like you take that journey of how do you be this innocent teenager and become like this terrible human being. So that's the fun part about it.
And Shanley, you've done a lot of work before, but I don't know if you've been Black Twitter famous before. And I know like the STARZ universe lights up on Black Twitter, and I wonder like how have you experienced any new fandom from being a part of this show as opposed to the other things you've worked on in the past?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I am so bad with social media that a lot of the times I don't really see it, but I hear every once in a while. I just remember at the very beginning of when we first were posting about Shannon Burke and Raising Kanan was posting about Shannon Burke, somebody posted just a picture and somebody just commented, "Oh, she gonna be a problem." And I was like, God, they got it spot on just from a picture, man. They nailed her down just from a picture. I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, same for you, Omar. I mean, you've been like in iconic movies where, I mean, before social media became like this thing. But how is this experience different being in this universe and this show compared to other stuff that you've worked on? I mean, do you feel a difference in the way the audience and the social media reacts to this show?
Yeah, I mean, well, social media is like its own universe. You know, it's another part of the ecosystem that it's undefeated. Like there's just too many people, right? But to me, it's fun because it's a different way to interact with the audience. It's more like hands-on. You can have conversations with an audience as you couldn't do before, and to me, it's refreshing. You know, it honestly is. It's just a different way of communicating with the audience as, you know, I'm not saying as a celebrity, but like as an artist, you know, and people really dig the show. And so that's exciting to communicate with them. And that what Shay just said, "Oh, she gonna be a problem." It's like people have like in social media, there's like this ownership component that people have, like, you know, because they have that platform, so they can say that, and then you see the sub discussions and people start going at each other, and it's just all over like one tweet. So for me, that stuff is fun to watch, and I think it helps. If it's a good show, it helps it grow.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for your time. Omar, I'm stuck on Act 3. I still got to get you the rest of that email that I sent you earlier in the year. Okay. Although you remember, I got you, and I can't wait to talk to y'all again for next season, man. Y'all keep it going.
Absolutely.
And that's a nigga. You know, the best salesmen, they the ones who sell you shit without noticing you spent any of your fucking. Is that light enough touch for you, nigga? Fuck the hands off. I'm sick and tired of you. Fucking put your hands on me, Lou. What you gonna do about it, Crown? You know, just because you make gangster music doesn't make you a gangster. Don't you ever pull that unless you plan on using it, B. Who said I ain't gonna use it? Me, nigga.
Bro, you're doing some amazing work. Also, I wanted to touch on, man, your new tape you just dropped, Q Side to B Side, that EP, man. Hey, what was the inspiration behind that?
Inspiration behind Q Side B Side was to really identify me as an artist. I wanted to write a love note to the genre. It's a few different genres. It's R&B infused, you know. The inspiration was, well, the project took 4 or 5 years to create, you know, and I realized like my place as an artist in the music industry hasn't been like understood yet, you know. So the inspiration was to really say hello, was to really like knock at the door, you know. This is that entry. I feel like that's even why I represented with the 2 doors. You know? I'm not in the door yet. We at the door, you know, and to really showcase my versatility, you know, in a body of work I wanted to make sure that was included. Because
Understand.
that's who I am as an artist. I might do a full rap record. I might do, like a pop style record, very melodically, present, but you don't know which way I'm gonna go. And I feel like the Q side, B side, it's an EP. So I want to just give a hint, at really who I am as that artist. Showcase the passion for the musicalities. It's not just about simple beats and whatnot. You really want to build, these records. And I feel like I got to do that with a body of work this time. I really got to hone in.
Segueing into is that into Raising Kanan, is that the same feeling you have with acting, and especially in this role with your character developing, that same passion and fire, your introduction, knocking at that door in the acting world?
I mean, absolutely. I feel like, this is another character that, allowed me to dive a little deep, have some fun. The fact that it took place in 91 was also, I got to salute to that, because people acted a certain way. It was a certain, just thing about the 90s, and especially with hip hop era, that was just important, just to make sure, all that was just very, very, very present,
Right. And quick question: what is the energy like, man, filming Raising Kanan, especially between you, Lulu? What was that energy like?
Well, the energy, was great. Obviously, Offset, when camera's on, we're in this world, and we're in this world so deep that, sometimes we're our characters when the camera's, when the director yell cut.
Right.
And, I feel like that always helps, because these characters have full-blown lives, and sometimes I feel like we may look at them one-sided, or like they only exist right here.
Right.
So that dynamic of just learning about each other and digging deep and kind of creating that comfortable space for us to really know who we are as a character,
And you and Malcolm Mays' chemistry on camera and film it's very, you can tell the passion, and it's very deep rooted. Like y'all really click and connect. So I want to say give y'all your flowers right now on that. Also, what do you feel is Crown's biggest downfall, man, this season? Things heating up, spicing up, it's getting a little messy, kind of a little triangle. How do you see Crown making out of this?
I think what Crown is focused on most is protecting his business and not realizing exactly who he's dealing with. And that's not my fault, because I'm not in the streets in the way that he's in the streets.
Right.
So things are coming along my way where I'm still trying to protect the integrity of what this bulletproof movement is, and I'm just overpowered. So being overpowered, you look for solutions. You don't let yourself just stay right there. I feel like with people loving Crown or hating Crown, like you hating Crown because you feel like he ain't standing up for himself enough, but this is all new territory for me. Right. That's where the real clash begins, because I start to just, do certain things that I feel like is best.
Right.
And we're supposed to be a partnership, so it's like I've tried it his way, and I've tried it his way time and time again. And now I just want a solution. I want a better ending to some of the visions that we have, let's stay focused. Let's make money, because that's the whole point. And I feel like he slightly was using me, just to have that alley-oop given to him instead of like setting the alley-oop up.
Well, there you have it, man. Well, appreciate you, Quincy Brown. Tune in this Sunday for episode 6 coming in, man. Man, appreciate your work, man. Appreciate you, dog. Thank you. BLACKTREE TV. Peace, positivity.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so look, when you found out there was going to be a season 2, because I know you've been acting, I guess since you was like 3 years old and everything, but when you found out, the Power Universe is successful, but this is a new chapter. When you found out that officially a season 2 was happening for Raising Kanan, it's real. You got more story for your character. How did you feel about that?
All right, so full discretion, I screamed. I was very excited because I knew that Power had an incredible fan behind it. I knew there was a whole universe behind the stories that we were trying to tell. But you always have that what if on if the fans are gonna like it as much as you like it, they like it even more. So we are super excited to be able to come back for a season 2. I was super excited to find out that we were coming back for a season 2. I had a doubt, but we all waited for that. And we all felt like this is going somewhere really, really far, and I feel like the stories that we're gonna tell are original with this. They're all gonna, they're gonna coincide at one point. They're all gonna make sense the entire season. So it's all gonna be awesome.
And I don't want to reveal anything to the audience to say they have to wait to see it premiere and see as much as I have. But your character's going through some things. So, I mean, he's had some challenges. I mean, he kind of got in trouble at the crib a little bit. Got some challenges of what he's doing in life. What part of Famous and you are mutually similar? Where Antonio and Famous meet?
That's a good question. Again, without revealing too much, my character does go through a couple things this season, but I feel like one of the key parts that we actually matched up really well, and that's another place that they allowed me to be creative as much as I wanted to, was how I dealt with that level of pressure and how I dealt with that level of disappointment where I was fitting, So I think the way we all have moments of being hard on ourselves is kind of one of the ways that I match up with my character this season, And then even in celebrating when things go well, there's times that we all have a moment where we need to just take a deep breath and say, all right, it's going to be okay, And I think that just dealing with, the issues of life is something that I feel like we matched up on a lot, because it wasn't just, punchlines to set up jokes. It was more so like, this is
Supposed to be my manager, right? Supposed to be making moves for me, making my shit blow up.
I'm doing all I can, Fame. I got you mixtape out. I got you played on Stretch and Papito. I can't make people buy your shit.
What about getting me back in the studio?
What about you laying off the weed and writing something? Ever since you started smoking that shit, you've been sitting on your ass instead of writing rhymes.
You told me you were gonna talk to Lou about getting me beats to write to.
He says he wants you to write first, and then I'll get you the beats. Okay, he says he wants you to be an artist, a creator, like Fife.
Yo, fuck this. I already knew I should have got a real manager. I just figured I'd go with you because, Lou was giving you that dick, so...
How the fuck you gonna talk to your sister that way?
Figured if Lou was hitting it, it might help my career in a way. But, I guess what you giving up ain't getting it done.
Fuck you, Famous.
Fuck you, too.
You ain't gonna get a real manager anyway.
I know actors, working actors, especially out here in New York, they'll be in Broadway, they'll be in, Beetlejuice and these great plays and theater. But how does it feel to be on STARZ in a world that's like very heavily on Black Twitter, where the streets are gonna recognize you for what they're gonna recognize Famous. That's not like you was in Les Miserables or something. They didn't see it. They see you like when you went through season 1 and you started walking the blocks and everything else. How was the reaction in the neighborhood from people that's watching? Oh.
So I'm from Harlem, right? And I feel like you mentioned earlier, I've been acting since I was 3 years old, right? So this is my 20th year. I've been doing this for some time. I've been noticed before outside. I've been recognized. I've been, gawked at even sometimes. But this show, I feel like, gave me a new appreciation for fan bases, because not only am I getting recognized a lot, because I walk still. I feel like I'm one of the few cast members that still walk places instead of taking cabs and stuff. So I get recognized a good amount, but past that, I feel like because of what power is for people, I've actually been told a lot recently what the show does for people and how certain kids from areas like where most of the cast is from, they still have hope now because there's shows like this, and then, like you said, they are heavy on social media. So now I think with the ability to reach way more people, even people that don't watch the show, they know about our show because of Twitter, because of Facebook, because of Instagram. So I feel like having that is really a blessing for us, and I feel very appreciative to help the people that we help, to even entertain the people we entertain. Even if it's to be told that we're doing something important, that's kind of motivating to keep going.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it, Antonio. Appreciate the time. I want next time we talk, I gotta see if you really got some bars and see if we're gonna be dropping the album.
I do.
You too, bro. Thank you.